Good evening, everybody. Again, thank you for coming. What a great turnout, and we're forever grateful. This event was formed by concerned citizens of Bermuda, including a coalition of Bermudians and non-Bermudians. This vigil is just about showing support for pathways and how the legislation will greatly improve the lives of many residents. Please feel free to join us. There's room for all of you. We have two individuals here who would like to share their stories with you. I ask you to listen to their stories. The passion, what they're looking for. I'm going to give you over to Janice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you a round of applause. On behalf of many who some were afraid to be here this evening, who some have held their stories inside because of fear that others would dispute what they had to say. And therefore, I do not stand here this evening for myself, but many, many other people. I arrived in Bermuda at the age of 7. No choice of mine, but that my parents sought a better life and decided to come to Bermuda. And I am grateful and thankful that the arms of the Bermuda government were open and welcoming and received them here. It is because of many individuals like you that I am the woman that I am today. Many Bermudian mentors. In fact, it just so happened that many of my mother's friends were actually nurses. And as I grew, I watched closely how they cared for individuals in the community and dreamed one day that I too could care for them for what they did for me. And I want to thank them. I am, however, not going to turn a blind eye to what has happened in Bermuda. There are many hurting Bermudians. There are many Bermudians without jobs. Yes. There are many Bermudians who experience challenges. Yes. And yes, I will not turn a blind eye to that as well. I am also aware of many individuals like myself who arrived in this country innocently due to our parents, who are also hiding behind our parents because we too do not have the rights to be in this country, the free rights to be in this country. And I am here this evening to say to you, each and every one of you, a message of love, a message of peace, a message that God has given me. I remember the story of the Good Samaritan who stood on the side of the street. Others passed him by, and others stopped. They stopped to help. One stopped to help. And no matter where this legislation goes, I want individuals who are not sure what tomorrow holds for them to know that we serve a mighty God, a God who is in charge of this world, a God who ultimately sets up and breaks down, a God who ultimately loves each and every one of us, no matter where we come from. He has an open arm and a plan for each and every one of our lives, from the little one to the bigger one. And I want to let each and every one of you know that I love you. I love Bermuda. I love my friends in Bermuda. I love my extended family in Bermuda. And all I'm here today is to tell you my story of love. The love that has been shared towards me. The love that has made me the woman I am today. And I say to each and every one of you, let us in peace, let God's will be done.
Good evening all, and thank you for all coming out tonight. We as a group of young individuals are concerned about the current immigration laws as we feel they must be changed. We as children of PRC holders each have different circumstances which are detrimental to us and also leaves us with challenges. We feel as if we've been handed the bad end of the stick with the potential issues that will arise in the future if the current immigration laws are not changed. One of the challenges that children of PRC holders have is that there is absolutely no pathway for all of us to become Bermudians, even though we were either born here or came to Bermuda at a very young age. We love Bermuda and we consider Bermuda to be our home. Some of us are facing issues such as our parents receiving the PRC from a sibling, but they cannot pass it on to us. If a change does not happen now, many of us are in a predicament where we or our future generations are not going to be able to live in Bermuda. The only purpose that the immigration laws have to a young person like me and my friends is to separate families and remove individuals who have spent most of their lives in Bermuda and send them to a country that they feel they do not belong to us. Thank you once all again for everyone who's came out to us, and this means a lot to all of us, seriously.
As you heard those two stories, I'm sure you can sympathize with the two individuals of no fault of their own of where the situation they are now. But here, let me share some facts with you. Out of 222 jurisdictions, only 4 countries do not offer path to status. Maldives, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, and Palau. The vast majority of countries, including small islands, allow for status and citizenship after 5 to 10 years. Out of all British overseas territories and Crown dependencies, Bermuda is the only jurisdiction without a pathway to status. I think it's time we change that. Virtually no country uses quotas for status of citizenship. None. Quotas are used in a small number of skilled migrant programs. Bermuda has lost 10,000 residents since 2008. 10,000. We cannot afford to lose any more. PRCs are growing up, having children, and those children have no rights. The majority of 31B PRCs were born in Bermuda. Many others came to Bermuda at a young age. According to the independent, nonpartisan International Fiscal Responsibility Panel, Bermuda is growing old fast. And it's growing old much more rapidly than many other countries. Bermuda's median age has increased from 26 in 1960 to 41 in 2010. It is projected to rise to 46 in 2020. We are getting much older. In 1950, those aged 65 and over represented 6% of the population. This was 14% in 2010. The percentage of 65 is projected to increase to 20% in 2020. According to the World Bank, Bermuda has lost nearly $2 billion in personal remittances in 2006. $2 billion. Guest workers sending their money home. This is how many jobs that would create in our economy now. That's a lot of money. PRCs and non-Bermudians born in Bermuda skew younger than average Bermuda. We cannot afford to lose these people. Bermuda's largest number of work permits in living memory occurred in the same year when we approached virtually no unemployment. In 2007, with 18,000 plus work permits. Those who have been in Bermuda for 20 years have been approved to stay here by the UBP, by the PLP, and the OBA. These are the people that we say we want. Social insurance is underfunded, $2.1 billion. So tell me, who will pay for our pensions? Bermudians have record numbers of empty houses and apartments. More residential population equals lower taxes, better services. I think we're owed that much. We deserve that much. Pathways incentivize skilled migration and allows Bermuda to compete with Cayman, BVI, and others for the best and the brightest. They are leaving us in their dust. Bermuda's baby boom years of 1950 to 1966 averaged 1,120 births a year. 2014 was our lowest year on record. We registered 574 live births. Bermuda's population is shrinking. Long-term residents are our family. They are our friends. They are our colleagues. They are our neighbors. The Supreme Court has spoken. Our immigration legislation is in breach of the Constitution. Pathways will fix this. As a Bermudian who is concerned for our country, we cannot afford not to do this. I ask you to please sign the petition in favor of Pathways. Before we all disperse for the evening, with all the others, with your thoughts, go home and think. A special thank you goes out to the committee and to everybody that has come out to support us, has come out and helped in any way, with cooking, with shirts, with candles, in any way. We sincerely say thank you and support the Pathways to Status. Thank you, everybody, and have a great evening. And please, there's cookies, hot coffee, and tea. Thank you.